Caitlin Clark forgets injury in epic reaction to Makayla Thompson moment during practice. The mood around Caitlin Clark's injury status has taken a dip. Ironically, her latest update is that she's been ruled out indefinitely, which was met with relief. Why? Because there were no additional injuries or damage discovered through the evaluations. After the way she walked off in tears after slipping during that bounce pass against the Sun, the fans expected a lot worse. We have to wonder how we got here. It all started with just a little tightness during the preseason, and halfway into the season, she has already missed nearly half of the Indiana Fever's games. It's not quite the sophomore year you expect after a rookie season where she was comfortably among the best point guards in the league, taking her side to the playoffs for the first time in almost a decade. This stretch of injuries has reminded everyone that Clark is, after all, human. However, she is not letting her injuries keep the entire team down during practice, as evidenced by an emphatic moment before their next clash. The Fever side was running their usual half-court contest, which is held right before the game on the game day or after the last practice before the game. The Fever rookie Makayla Thompson did not sweat for hers as she had nothing but net from beyond the halfway line, leading to a pumped response from the entire team, but especially from Clark. Clark had her hands above her head as Thompson went on a winning run, clapping the entire squad. She went over to the ecstatic rookie and had Thompson jump over Sophie Cunningham, and she joined in despite the right quad injury. The point guard carefully stepped over the current 6th Woman of the Year favorite. It was another one of her goofy moments that she pointed out just a few days ago. Even with her injury troubles, she found a moment to celebrate. It was Thompson's second straight win in this competition, as she had just as easily scored her midcourt shot before the Las Vegas Aces matchup. As you expect, Caitlin Clark has also tasted victory earlier in the season in one of these extremely competitive contests. While the fandom celebrated Thompson's victory, many were quick to notice that Clark was in practice gear and not street clothes, which sparked some interest in her health. It could be the case, but as the coach has repeatedly mentioned, the focus is on avoiding any further complications down the road. And currently, it looks like the Fever squad is holding their own even without her. They have found out a way to win, and players like Sophie Cunningham, Kelsey Mitchell, and Aaliyah Boston have stepped up. Fever coach Stephanie White highlights silver lining Caitlin Clark injury update. It's hard to cope for all parties in this Clark situation. For the fans, they don't get to watch a full-strength Indiana Fever side and their favorite player, which is a big miss and a disappointment. The Fever are without their best player and the crowd puller. And Clark herself struggles mentally and physically. Like her teammate, Lexi Hull revealed, there's frustration there. Why now? Why me? Those types of questions. The addition of intrigue and lack of clear communication added further frustration for fans. So, after the latest update, where the franchise clearly said that the player is out and doesn't expect her back without any further communication from them, Coach Stephanie White pointed this out, saying, "I think that's big. Just the mindset of our group, to know that we've got what we've got. To continue to grow and connect in those ways." White further said, "And is she available? Is she not available? Will she practice? Will she not practice?" And sort of the disruption that comes with some of that. So there's clarity. And I think that's good for everybody. It's good for Caitlin too. So she doesn't feel any kind of way. She can just approach and attack her rehab one day at a time. Clark is not available, full stop. Now, the players and the fans can start to move on and assess the reality of the situation in a more patient manner. The players will mold into their slightly changed roles a lot better. Like Sophie Cunningham, who has evolved into a pretty efficient outside shooter in the last few games. White could even give her the starting spot in the long run from here on, at least until Clark returns. Kelsey Mitchell is owning the role of being the premier scorer. Ari McDonald is evolving into a mature point guard, and they seem to be improving even without Clark. For the fans, they can now go past their emotions of losing their favorite player and look at the season in the context of the entire team. Even then, that small part inside, everyone will still look for Clark during the games. It is just the vast love for the player, but the decision is taking her entire career into consideration. As we saw in her reaction to Thompson, she is still in a